Oh, hi! This week, even though I'm not wearing appropriate colors, I'm gonna make a necklace in honor of St. Patrick's Day. Now, I am from America, New England specifically, so we celebrate it probably not the same way that they do in Ireland, but it's always been a very, very big deal in my family. I grew up very Irish Catholic, not that I believe in any of that anymore. I always grew up with St. Patrick's Day dinner being as big of a deal as Thanksgiving. Even when I have not included meat in my diet, I always eat corned beef dinner. Partially because of the fear of my Grammy just smiting me from the heavens. God, I miss that woman. She always sang that May the Road Rise to Meet You song, and it always made me very weepy. But we would also just scour the backyard to find 4-leaf clovers. So for that reason, I am very excited about this project. But enough backstory, let's get into the damn thing already. Here's what you need. Some fucking Irish coffee. The main thing you're gonna need for this is a fuckload of buttons. 4 of these teardrop shaped jewelry findings. You could probably also just take a thicker gauge wire like this and build your own teardrop shape. And you're gonna need some wire. This is floral wire. You're also gonna need a couple jump rings, some kind of lobster claw closure situation, unless you make your chain long enough that it can go over your head, and then some kind of chain. You're also gonna need some pliers. As far as colors for buttons, I really wanted to do only green, but I wasn't sure if I was going to have enough, so I did bust out some orange. You could even put some white in the middle, but the first step, and probably the biggest pain in the ass, is assembling your clover structure with these little teardrops. I'm taking them and crossing them over each other, so they're overlapping a little bit, kind of making an infinity symbol. I take these wire cutter plier things. Now I'm just going to wrap the shit out of these until they seem like they're going to stay together. Now attach your second pair in the same way. Just make sure they match up widthwise. So now we're going to attach these two together. If you are more dexterous than I, you could have attached all 4 at the same time, but I ain't got that kind of skill, man. It stars swooping. Alright, so not the prettiest, but you get the idea. Real cute. That's the fun creative part, but also the very tedious part, where you get to attach all the buttons. Lay them out however you want. I'm gonna put a bigger button at the end of each one and kind of fill in the rest of this with smaller buttons. It doesn't really matter what order you go in. Just keep in mind the buttons you lay down first may get overlapped with other buttons. So if you have an extra awesome decorative one you want to showcase, just maybe add that one last. Time to put on some Flogging Molly or Gaelic Storm or something and go to town. Oh boy, well, this is what the back looks like. Kind of a disaster, but the front's not too bad. So I'm going to clip off some of the excess wire and then take some pliers and just kind of spiral it in on itself, because the last thing you want when you wear this is to get stabbed in the chest. So you can either do this while you're adding the buttons or just add it after, but there's a little section of the wire that I crossed back and forth between these 2 sections, and I'm going to attach a jump ring right there. I'm also going to get my chain ready. Now the chain I'm using is long enough. I don't need to use a lobster claw. I opened my jump ring already. I'm going to put both ends of the chain through there, and then I'm going to attach all of that around that section of wire. Take some pliers and clamp the jump ring shut. Guess what, motherfuckers? We're done. Now let's try this tacky thing on. The chain is long enough that this is like a Flava Flav clock. But for holidays, I feel like this is something Molly Weasley would have worn to the Quidditch World Cup. I feel like it lost its shape a little bit. So maybe using a lot of smaller buttons would be the best way. If you'd like to see one of my older tutorials featuring one of my worst haircuts, I'm gonna put that right here. When you're seeing this video, I will actually be in Georgia. If you would like to be sent some fun trinkets or even just a postcard or something, then check out my Patreon, the Mailtime perk, because that's my favorite one to do. I'm gonna be scoping out some goodies on my trip. Also, my birthday's in a couple days, so just saying. Or if you would prefer to just subscribe, that would also be a wonderful gift. If you give a shit about that, I don't know, you do your thing. I'll toss some other random project here, just to fill the square. Alright, you crafty motherfuckers, I will see you next Saturday so we can make more stuff. So I am wearing the same outfit, but it's already second day. I didn't even get to the supplies before I had to go do something else.